I'd like to talk to you today about avoiding reality. So, first of all, I wonder if we have asked ourselves or live by the intention of meeting reality fully. Um, in a sense, am I living from my head or am I really feeling life? Right? So, is there something that I'm not meeting full on? Is there something that I am not really addressing? Is there something that feels that it's itching under my skin and I really choose to look the other way? So, avoiding reality is something that is so predominant in our society, and not just because of the societal structure. Yes, there's a huge part of conditioning from that perspective, because we were never taught how to be in our bodies. We were educated how to resolve everything um, in our analytical cognitive capacity, instead of really feeling what is really asking us for attention. So, avoiding reality, there's few things. So, what are the examples of avoiding reality? Um, you know, examples are that there's something that you really want to do, and it's like really nagging at you, and it feels like, oh my gosh, this project was really going to make me feel um, creative, fulfilled, evolved, perhaps meaningful. And you watch yourself basically sabotaging yourself over and over, starting something and landing and really um, resisting, actually moving forward, persisting, committing, moving, flowing, expanding. So projects is one way of avoiding reality. Exercise is another way of avoiding reality. Health and our own well being and our own ability to feed ourselves nourishing foods. It's another way of avoiding reality. Neglecting our kids is a huge way of avoiding reality. Neglecting ourselves is big time avoiding reality. Neglecting our heart's expression and our ability to evolve and to be fully, authentically ourselves, really getting out there, really getting our message, our voices, our intentions, and our own gifts really is avoiding reality. So, sharing ourselves with our kids, with our partners, with life itself, whatever it demands of, we're constantly decide to unconsciously, of course, to look the other way. So, what can we do about it, really? So, perhaps you can recognize and just stop for a moment and ask yourself, you know, what is it that perhaps is something meaningful that I haven't given my 100% to? Something that is calling me and that I know it's going to be so good for me. But I keep on returning into my comfort zone over and over again, feeling deficient, feeling incapable, feeling small, feeling simply not good enough, not capable enough, not strong enough, not powerful enough, not leader enough, not confident enough, and so on. Not enough, not intelligent enough, not creative enough. Mm-hmm. So, in my own case, I can tell you, like, wow, living from an ego state, and especially a repressed ego state, it has been quite an unconscious journey, honestly. I created with my avoidance of my responsibilities, not just my own, but actually my child's. I had a kid when I was 16 years old, and really not caring for that responsibility and just really doing my best, of course, to do the minimum. Of course, it's not like I was neglectful completely, but I would, for my own desires, I would just, let's say, to travel to India, I would just drop him on my mom without asking if she can do it or he's willing to, right? And it's just like, oh, boom. I don't want to look. I don't want to feel. I don't want to take the ownership and the responsibility for that. I'm just going to looking for a way out, right? Whatever that is, smoking, traveling, distracting ourselves, eating. So in my case, I created so much pain out of this same mechanism of avoidance of reality, really. And what happens is, apart from the pain that you create everywhere for yourself as well, what starts happening, you actually miss out on life and what really life is asking of you, the evolution that life is asking of you, that next step in your and towards your full potential empowerment. Unrepressed version of you is being asked in this real life situations that we are avoiding. Have you been willing and wanting and desiring and feeling awkward and feeling that there's something that you really want to speak about to your parents or to your child or to your partner especially? Was this something, is there some needs that are not met? Is there something that you wanted to point out about your feelings? Not to drop on them your neediness, your helplessness, your victimhood, but no, like a real truth that you haven't been talking about and avoiding. So, this is what I mean: avoiding conflict, disconnecting from important relationships just because it feels uncomfortable to express ourselves. Sounds familiar? Yes, for sure. Been there. My gosh. Done all of it. A huge time disconnector. Yeah. So, what can we do about it? What works and what doesn't? Right? What works and what doesn't? What I'll tell you from direct experience what didn't work for me. What I thought it would. What didn't work for me is, no matter how much I pursued and succeeded in being really present here now, transformed absolutely in the abiding awareness state, pursuing that, I thought that that's going to resolve everything. And it didn't. It resolved a lot of things. It resolved the noise in the head and the judgments and many things that um, many stories and many beliefs did fall away. But imprinted, unconscious strategies of survival of the ego, of the body mind, that was still imprinted in my body state. So that didn't really work. It really helped. It does help to be present. My gosh, it transforms a lot. But it didn't help the the actual sabotage of the avoidance mechanism. So what is it? What is it, that mechanism? And I'll get back to what works and what doesn't. So let's see. The mechanism of avoidance is a basic program based on fear. Fear is at a core of your survival strategy of the body mind. It is the core of the ego. What is the ego? Ego is mind and body strategies, right? Energies that are keeping us in safety. So what really happens in the beginning when we're kids, it's very free, it's very flowing, it's still unconditioned. And even though we have a lot of trauma, it still doesn't function from that place. But what happens with time and language and so on, we get trapped in that fear, frozen fear in our childhood, right? So we get trapped into these tragic events that happen to us. So we're not just trapped as awareness itself, right? Life force itself. We're not just trapped in that frozen fear. But we also, with that, we're trapped in time because the ego can only function in time, right? So it is trapped in the past and it's constantly projecting unconsciously and trying to recreate a better version of that past. But what happens unconsciously, we don't know that no matter how much we try to fix ourselves, the issue is the fact that we don't really feel and we're constantly are avoiding to feel the actual fear that is generating the chaos and the suffering and the attachment and the avoidance in our life, right? So the avoidance mechanism is actually a mechanism based in fear. Now, fear is a sabotage to all our dreams. On a conscious level, you know what you want, but you don't know what's unconsciously going on for you under the hood, so to say, right? So, what is unconsciously going on? That is what is manifesting for you in your life. So, no matter how much you want to raise your frequency and manifest consciously, if you don't clean up, the deep unconscious motivations, energies, repressed fear, repressed emotions, that is going to be the anchor and the heaviness that's going to be weighing you down from flying high. Okay? And you're constantly going to notice within yourself an avoidance tactics that look like sabotage day after day, procrastination day after day, inaction day after day, and basically guilt, suffering, and more of the same cycle. So, not until we make things very, very, very conscious, not until we go there and deliberately and diligently actually feel that fear that froze you in time as that 5-year-old, 6-year-old, and really move and learn how to move it through our bodies, right? Through our nervous systems, allowing the fear itself to become a natural nervous system regulator, because skillfully I can put so much awareness, concentration, presence, and really learn and practice this deep allowance of everything and all emotions within my body to the point of intensity, because I can, within that intensity, I can learn how to be more and more spacious, to allow more and more within my capacity to feel and be with in the present moment with everything that is calling and begging for our attention through disease, through discomfort, through chronic pain, through fatigue, through sleepless nights, through contractions in our bodies, through inability to express ourselves, and through avoidance tactics, right? It's calling us. Are you listening? Are you truly listening? So I'm here to help you if you'd like to learn how to be, how to evoke, how to get into those old places, how to bring up all this unconscious material into the surface and allow ourselves to feel all the hurts and all the shame and the anger and the guilt and humiliation and the fear and the fear and the fear. So that It's no longer an inner pressure cooker that is manifesting our reality, so that you can be free, open the lid and be free to be you. Simply you, with all your emotions, with all your desires, with all your intentions, all your dreams, the ability to be intimate, the ability to express yourself, to say no when you need to stop pleasing anyone, to start really having a choice, a true choice, what you really want in your life, so that the manifesting, the being in higher frequency is no longer a beautiful idea that no matter how much you practice never arrives, but so that manifesting on that empty vessel of yours with the full capacity and the full spectrum of all your emotions, all human emotions, becomes the ability to create, create, and create effortlessly, because you're so powerful. You're so magnificent. You're so beautiful. Don't forget that. Life is calling you. Are you hearing the calling? Reach out, DM me wherever you see this video. Let me know. We can meet for a clarity call. We can see if your willingness in readiness to take responsibility for your suffering can be in alignment with my excitement to share the tools and the hows and the skills and the mastery of self inquiry, somatic processing, repression inquiries for your own freedom. Let's play. Let's start living. I remember craving to be like others because they know how to speak. They were so confident in front of camera. And I hated myself. I felt so small, so oppressed. It's possible. You also can do it. You can share your talents. You can share your skills. You can teach others. You might not believe it right now, but you have skills and talents that people will really, really dig to learn from you. But this might not land right now because you might be sitting on this heaviness, that pressure cooker, that smallness, that condensed, repressed energy, that more comfortable, more safe deficiency to land in. That might be, might not be what who I am, who she's talking about. But I'm talking about you, yes, you. And you know that deep, deep, deep inside, below all those layers, right, of lies we had to believe about ourselves. All right. Take good care. Reach out.